Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Drug Addiction, Treatment, Recovery and Relapse, where we are interested in the vexing issue of relapse following addiction treatment. This is a real tragedy for many families, and in this series of talks based on my book Ask Us About Rock Bottom, a book which is now available on Amazon Kindle, we have tried to get the solutions as to why so many of us who go through addiction treatment end up relapsing. Our topic for today, we will discuss ladies in addiction. It will seem strange to title such a topic as the problem of celibacy, addiction, and relapse. But as we go on, we shall see the reason why we have titled this video that way. The hero of the story today, or the heroine for that matter, is a lady called Jane, who was brought up in a strict Catholic family throughout high school, never touched any substances, and when she passed with flying colors, her strict Catholic parents decided to send her to a Catholic university because they believed that public universities were cesspits of vice, and they did not want their clean daughter to go to such a place. She ended up at a Catholic-run institution where for the first 1 year she was the picture of virtue. A chance meeting with one of her lecturers, who was also a priest, led her to losing her innocence. The priest happened to be interested in her, and they started drinking because the priest usually had a lot of alcohol in his house where he was housed by the church. Jane ended up getting pregnant. At the same time, she ended up a full alcoholic. This was to the great shock of her strict parents. Which brings us to this question. The problem here is twofold. Addiction in women tends to take different routes from the route it takes in men. Women tend to get addicted faster. Jane only had to drink for a few months before she became completely hooked. The other question that we want to discuss in this video is, why is there so much addiction among the clergy? This is a problem that has been discussed again and again, but most of the time the problem has been swept under the carpet. Since the 10th century, the Catholic Church has said that celibacy is the recommended way of life for its priesthood. This was for the purpose of making sure that the priests concentrate on the work of spreading the gospel. But with time, this has been shown to go against the law of nature. And a lot of scandals involving the church and issues to do with sex have been coming up throughout the centuries. With social media and the exposure of the press today, these cases are becoming very many. And we ask, why is this happening? Keeping a man celibate is not natural. This goes against the laws of nature. Many of these priests also do not have somebody who can become their father confessors. They have a lot of idle time because apart from the services on Sunday, the burials and the occasional marriages and baptisms and funerals, they have a lot of free time. Money is available and very little supervision. The church also covers them when they become addicted. This is an issue that has been covered by the church for a long time, just as the issue of extramarital affairs has also been covered. So Jane ended up in a very bad way, and when the parents took her to a rehab, she was actually very resistant. She insulted everybody and actually threatened suicide. She went through the liberation 90 days, and I'm happy to say that Jane is now back to her senses. She has left off alcohol. Fortunately for her, she started alcohol late. She was actually an adult when this happened. And according to the scientists, when you start your addiction late, the chances of coming out of it is much simpler. Because when you are much younger, the frontal cortex of the brain is still developing. This is the decision-making part of the brain. But if you start taking the addictive substance at the age of 25, the chances are that the frontal cortex is already well developed, and there will be a chance that you'll be able to live off alcohol. As for the priests who actually led Jane into the trap. He has left the priesthood. He's a full-blown alcoholic, but there has been no follow-up as to what happened to the priest. What am I saying here? Alcoholism and addiction in general does not discriminate. As we have seen in all the previous episodes, we have seen it targeting the young people in high school, 17, 18 years old. You have seen it hitting teachers, policemen. We have seen it hitting everybody across the economic background. It doesn't really matter who you are. This is a disease for all of us. And it's time that the church came out and decided that we have a problem here. And this problem of celibacy causing the addiction, do these two go together? But that is a problem for the church. But when the problem of the church comes up to affect the larger community, we should now start talking about it. Thank you for listening to me. I pray that you will be able to subscribe to this series of videos and share to your friends as we wait for the next episode where we shall have an exciting topic to discuss. There is hope for those of us who have been caught in the big wheel and chain of addiction, and as we keep on repeating, it will not always be a story of woe. There is hope and recovery is possible even after a series of relapse. Thank you very much and keep watching.